I only was just I thought I was doing the right thing.
That's some witchcraft on myself. Now I gotta wait a few seconds for this motherfucking shit.
They thought that I only was just always end up doing the wrong thing.
We're gonna wait a few seconds, y'all.
Yeah, but this atmosphere I'm sad and liking. Mistakes I made just felt like I was sacrificing. You live in hell and that is why they act so violent. Ain't talking about this earth, but I'm an astropilot, yeah. That's right. Girl, you don't wanna get me turned on. The lights about to go off like it just turned on. The two sides of my mind, I'm trying to merge y'all. The way we've been doing things is what deserved for. Damn. But who gon' pick us back up? Yeah, the 144,000 niggas, you trippin' bitches, that's us. Yeah, but I've been living that rough. Yeah, trying to help a few lost souls. Cause it's going on in they head. No one else but God knows. Yeah. And you can't even ask them. God not eating a heat. And you can't play the odds till it's eating complete. So where I got lost, how can I be in a stream? Yeah. I thought I was doing the right thing. They thought that I only was just I thought I was doing the right thing. They thought that I only was just I thought I was doing the right thing. They thought that I only was just always end up doing the wrong thing. And you be searching, your feelings must have made love. You be searching, your feelings must have made love. And you be hurting, your feelings must have made hate. You be hurting, your feelings must have made hate. Okay. I'm about to do a few magic tricks, hoping you are amazed. Let's fly as a house and play hang, go get it, do you wanna play? Yeah. Well, in the parliament, I am the one I just flew on a plane. And a whole nother existence that don't usually bring, yeah. When me and you together doing mistakes, it don't feel so bad, but we steady losing our grace, yeah. We came down to earth and really start fucking up, searching for everything in life until we realize it's in front of us, yeah. I thought I was doing the right thing. They thought that I only was just I thought I was doing the right thing. They thought that I only was just I thought I was doing the right thing. They thought that I only was just always end up doing the wrong thing.
I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna put it down. Now, this YouTube and I bullshit now, because I thought I was doing the right thing by not putting on the Wi-Fi. It'd be tricky. Sometimes I put it on the Wi-Fi, then it want to fuck up, and sometimes it don't. Then when I choose not to put it on it, sometimes it want to work, then sometimes it want to fuck up. So like, goddamn it, it's just the shadow government fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? They all the way on my IG, just like last time. As soon as they give me a strike, they follow me all the way on my goddamn IG and start pandering and copying certain themes and titles and things that I'm talking about and narratives and shit like that. Now they got some bullshit shit up there with, because you know it's election season now. It's election. List the world is fucked up for a reason, which we're gonna get into that. But you know it's a motherfucking election season now. So for the most part in this motherfucking shit, they got Trump coming back in his motherfucking shit so he can start working his little fake ass Gemini / Sagittarius / Leo ascendant magic and his motherfucking shit during the season and this motherfucker for the next 2 years. But for the most part, then they got him going to get some female now, and now they trying to practice what we giving a lot of energy towards, aka the masculine versus feminine. And now her old ass up there talking about, yeah, this is why women are more powerful than middle-aged men. Really, she's talking about Donald Trump, but it's an allegory of us getting back into politics, but them being relatable because these are things we are into, because they have seen that we gave a lot of energy to that perspective as far as the Gigolo versus Jezebel energy. Thank you so much for the donation. Daniel Yakabu in this motherfucker. Yeah, they flunked out. Matter of fact, is we good? Is we good right now? Shout out to Ways, Wisdom Juice, Cold Hearted, Kiko, Mind Spiritual, is Kristen G, Sparky, Rashad, is we cool? Because I know I'm about to go in and I don't even know if we actually, all right, well, we cool. Yeah, so they be all on some flunked out ass shit. Flunked out ass, you know, Sun is in Leo, happy flight day, Sun in Leo, bitch. And then for the most part, yeah, they flunked everybody out. Now they trying to remix programs and shit. Because look, they weak. They don't have no spark of their own intelligence. They're just cobalt minds. So they only know how to shape and form and fashion gold. Now they very intelligent, very left brain, very good at shout to limit existence, L7 beloved Jasmine. Right, jet sparks. Now they're high voltage. They're very ways once again. Now look, they're very intelligent when it comes to shaping and molding shit because they're cobalt minds. So yeah, they don't know where they don't know where the ground come from, but they know how to make some tar. They know how to make cement. They know how to make gravel. They don't necessarily know how to make gold themselves or know where gold come from, but they know how to shape and carve it up and have it for bargaining and gaining systems. Now gold, in this aspect, from a spiritual perspective, is your creative attributes, right? Your ability to develop ideas, your spark of your water and fire. So they don't have that. But here's what you lack. You might be a gold mine, but you lack cobalt mine energy. So you got all this gold, but it's melty. And you don't never know how to put it in some type of pot and create a shape and form and create a beautiful ass vase, a beautiful ass fireplace for your fire to burn in and not burn down everything else and make the whole house hot. You see what I'm saying? Now, we got to bring these two forces together. Here's the thing. Just because you're on the internet and you might not be, successful in your life doesn't mean you're automatically a gold mine. When you have trouble sparking an imagination and things of that nature, then you might be more on a percentage level of being a cobalt mine. You might need to jump more into the shadow government and correlate these things. And then when you do start to wake up, find you a soul group, and therefore you can utilize your cobalt mine for your gold and your soul group gold in some way, shape, or form. But other than that, see, they don't come up with good ideas and things of that nature. So they don't know how to spark thoughts and feelings. They only know how to mimic thoughts and feelings as far as the shadow government. People who practice heavy ritual and spell have sacrificed all things that deal with intuition and stuff and became robots based upon how the world works. Now, this is the shadow government. They might be a little bit more spiritually intelligent than the average individual, but they still have made themselves highly robots to a certain degree. And you could kind of look at that on a ground basis when you're paying attention to people like monks and shamans. Now, the shadow government take this to a high degree to the point that they even understand when they making up the golem god, their god and things of that nature, and to the point that they're extreme robots, to the point that they don't give a fuck about your thoughts, your feelings, what you care about. They don't even give a fuck about your flesh. They will kill you, motherfucker, if you're not practicing the program and the routines and patterns that they want motherfuckers to be practicing in this motherfucker. So if you live on a geographical location, which is a corporation, which they call countries, and you're not correlating them with their system, then you're not being the money, because you think you making money is actually what they're fighting over. No, they actually fighting over the actual people who are making these buildings successful as far as reproducing products and things of that nature. So when they can sell products to another country, it takes the people, and the people are actually the currency. So anytime you got too many people on a geographical location that they're calling a country, which is really a corporation, as soon as you get too many people being born or getting rich or doing things but not maintaining the way that the system is supposed to be going, things is not being reproduced as far as products. And the products that's being reproduced is only for people trying to maintain their own stability in their own family or friends and things of that nature. And the shadow government look at that like you're not trying to fight our war. You're having too many kids out of wedlock. And you're taking our resources, our God and God we trust, and trust funds and shit like that, and you're utilizing it for shit that don't have anything to do with our war, our religion, our politics, our business, our education, or our entertainment. So for the most part, get your ass in jail or get your ass killed if you go too far with this and you maintain too many goddamn followers that's going against our goddamn system in some circumstance. So for the most part, this is how they reproduce type of magic squares to put us in and shit like that. All the way going down to the point that you think gas prices is high and you think Ukraine shooting missiles and shit right now is part of a motherfucking war. But you got to sit back and look at these stories that's happening right now. How the fuck do we got a such thing as the UN that know everything that's going on and prevent and don't stop it? How you know everything that's going on and this is your job and don't stop it? Because for the most part, they're putting us in their business for no apparent motherfucking reason. Listen, if you got something going on, you got kids, you got people around you, but you got some shit you need to take care of, these are the last people you're going to have in your business. Unless you need a mental crutch or you need some goddamn assistance. Other than that, you're going to stand on business and take care of your motherfucking shit. Nobody need to know that motherfucking shit. So when you got people running the motherfucking world and shit like that, and we got attackers, or however the case may be, radicals, however the case may be, dangerous people in position of power, have it in my position of power. So that's my song by 50 Cent. However the case may motherfucker be, it don't motherfucking matter in this goddamn shit, right? These supposed to be shit that whoever protecting us as far as a corporation or a country supposed to be standing on their motherfucking business. That should be the last thing of them trying to put us in their motherfucking business. The first thing that they should be doing is stopping anything before it even reach any type of attention to make anybody have to go through any stress. That's just motherfucking common citizens in this motherfucking shit. So our mind could be at peace and continue to reproduce products because we feel comfortable doing that because we feel like we live in a bomb-ass country. But when the country ain't treating us right, based upon us making little mistakes and them not having sufficient systems in our schooling grading systems as far as if you don't pass certain classes, it should be illegal for you to even have kids, then for the most part, they're not being good adults or they're not being good rulers of the country. So anytime we get met with resistance based upon these geographical locations and us in survival tactics of having to survive, then they use these tactics against us to create this utopia witchcraft. And this utopia witchcraft is the reason why the world is fucked up right now. Now, the utopia witchcraft is based upon the shadow government letting the sheep and the blind lead the blind and letting them all kill themselves, or practice a witchcraft where they give up their esoteric rights and allow the government to put them in jail or kill them, based upon whatever mind state that you're practicing with their memory cards. So they already see what you're doing. So they already see what type of person you is. They put you in a category. And therefore, this is you giving up your esoteric rights because they already got justifications of if individuals or a group of individuals act in this manner, then it's justified to kill them. If a group of individuals or this individual act in this manner, then it's justified to give them 1,000 years. Then for the most part, you can't really argue it because the lawyer and the whole kind of corporation system is kind of set up against you in a certain way, based upon you not falling short to the motherfucking government and things of that nature. So this when you have to realize that it's a utopia witchcraft going on. And the utopia Masonic witchcraft going on is let the dead bury the dead. And this is their way of doing it. And this is how they sacrifice us to their God. Where if you don't know no better ways to eat, then you need to be the one who get destroyed with the food that they put in there. Not for you to argue and say it's the shadow government destroying us, which that's half truth. But the full truth is only the strong survive. If individuals already know how to come up with their own stability on their diet and their food plans also anyway, then they won't have these problems. And this is what the shadow government will look at and kind of esoterically behind closed doors start to give spotlights on. Start to get, because they sitting back copying to see if whatever this person is getting ready to do with it for whoever come after them. Whoever used that energy come after them, they'll know what to do and what not to do for they can maintain their power in some way, shape, or form. So what they do is like the survival of the goddamn fittest and in some motherfucker shit, right? And they put us in the most worst conditions. So it end up being like the what's that one show called that everybody used to watch? I never even watched it, but I knew what it was about because everybody talked about it. It's the something. The something. It's about spirituality, or they was fighting dragons or some goddamn shit. The spaceship games. No, the dragon games. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Game of Thrones. There you go. Shout out to Julius P. Y'all know, see, okay, we on the same spiritual path. I never watched that shit, but I know exactly what half of it is about. Because goddamn it, that's what everybody goddamn talk about. So Game of Thrones is like that. Where it's like they throw us in this like esoteric hamster wheel rat maze and put cheese at the end of it and see how far we'd go, and we never even reach the maze because the way that they designed the maze is for you never to find the cheese. The way that they designed the hamster wheel is for you to never realize you're on a hamster wheel. And it's for you to get so frustrated, you start killing the people amongst you in some way, shape, or form. You see what I'm saying? Whether mentally or physically. And therefore, here's how they sit back and see, is y'all willing to change or not on your own? And the more that y'all fall, the more that they could relax and feel like they don't have to create martial law or depopulation control, because they really don't be wanting to do that. Like, it's weird as that to say. Shout out to Kabaka and this thing. As crazy as that sound, they really, like, see, this the thing. They got gods and shit too. It just ain't your spiritual ancestors. So that's just like you being in a classroom. Y'all not gonna have the same agreements. But what a person have in their mind, they might think they're doing the right thing. What you have in your mind is what you think you're doing the right thing. Now take that as a collection, as a soul group. Now look at the shadow government as a soul group. That's technically what they are. They don't care about race or none of that goddamn shit or where you live at. They all came together to rule the whole fucking world. So technically, they just practicing spirituality harder than everybody. Thank God we here now. But other than that, like I said, so basically, what they in their mind, they got things that they're doing that they think is moral. They got things that they think they're doing is good. It's just a lot of these things is against you. But here's the thing. See, when you get real deep in occult and practices and stuff like that, you got to shed the physical reality so much to the point that you start to realize thoughts and feelings created the physical reality. So metaphysics is in physical. So the mind is in the body. So that's in the world too. So you almost got to get rid of that too, based upon disciplines, practices, rituals, and they go so hard with it, they sacrifice. It's all work, no play, but here's the outcome. Ruling the world though. You know what I'm saying? But here's the sacrifice. Being about dumb as hell. Not having no creative spark. Having to use other humans as pets and guinea pigs and sheep and create new men and women in order just to know what to do next. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that they have a form of intelligence. They're just robots and just their God and what they're thinking that they're doing good. A lot of it on a percentage scale is things against you. Not to say that when they're doing these things, they're somewhere being evil, sinister, like, yeah, we want to do this because we want to kill people. No, they somewhere like stressing and just wanting to be right, just like you. Real shit. It's just they get into some real kind of energy where some of y'all, how y'all fall to your desires, they look at y'all like y'all need to be killed, and this is there in their mind thinking that y'all, this is sacrificing to y'all their God. And they no longer just bloodshed animals anymore, which they got slaughterhouses in the Adam and Eve spell, which everybody got a stove in their house now. But they the only ones getting rich. But they have went beyond and just started to do that with humans. So, you know, a funeral and shit like that, that's actually a Masonic witchcraft. Just to have a casket, and that's why you got to pay for it and shit like that. All these things that just deal with life and existence should be circumstances of free and freedom. Like water. We understand that water is the star. You wash your ass in a star and shit like that, right? So for the most part, we understand that everything is in water. I mean, water's in everything. Tea, no matter what you just mixing shit with water to give it flavor. Just like you mix different ideas with your first awareness to give it more color. So you have color for different chakras. But when you blend them all together, it's darkness. But darkness is really just you being, it's really clear. It's like water. But you just in too much of your color until you separate it. And then you can see the stars of the rainbow. And shit like that. But for the most part, right? Now, they just get so disciplined and structured out and shit like that. They forget all that part. But really, your mind, I had a motherfucking point. I forgot the motherfucking point. But other than that, yay. You know what I'm saying? It's just your light chakras and all this motherfucking shit. That's your mind. And your mind is part of this world also and shit like that. So you have to make sure you're creating these things and honing these things and owning these things and putting them in the right routines and patterns and shit like that. So when you do practice rituals and spells and shit, you have a spark. You have gold mind and you have cobalt mind. You know what I'm saying? You can actually create. And you actually make the shape and form. Therefore, can't nobody tell you shit. You won't need no motherfucking validation. And then when the world gets against you and it seems like you validate yourself, the more you're going to get unvalidated from the environment and people that you actually want to validate you. But that's when you start to get on your motherfucking mission. That's when you start to get in that real separation, that real fire, that fire that you can use to separate you from that previous space to get into a new naked Virgin Mary space to develop a new fire there, a new awareness, and create hone in a new mind there, a new water, a new woman, and then make an air and earth there, aka new logic, new ways to travel, new awarenesses, new thoughts, air, thoth, and new feminine Virgin, Virgo, or earth energies and shit, and bring that together, masculine and feminine together, and have a bomb ass mentality that look brand motherfucking new. And you can go back through the fire hula hoop through that previous circumstance that was a memory that still might be alive a little bit, so the energy mentally manifested as people, places, and things, and circumstances and situations you involved in that still may be going a little bit, but now you got a better way to attack it, new angle, because as a spirit you went into a new space, created another form, and that form was strong enough to go through that fire that you had previously created that block you from going back in that form. Because a lot of times when we create fires but we don't create a better form in that next environment, in that new space of life we are in, we'll look at that fire like we never want to go back through it. We'll look at that memory like we never want to go back to it again. And that end up developing an insecurity or something that we're running from. Oh shit, oh. Something that we're running from, or responsibility that we're not taking care of. And that's you jumping into a new space. I don't even know how you got there. Some spirits is powerful enough to get there, but you got into a new space in your life. But the spaceship you created, the mentality, the halo, the awareness and mind, aka the masculine and feminine side that you brought together to shield your spirit in that space, ain't even strong enough to fight all that previous shit that you just created. So it's getting ready to become a ghost, and you about to look at it like you can't go through it and eradicate it or take care of it or organize it so it don't bother you, and it can just be a stepping stool for you to step onto your next life that or plateau that you're on at the moment. You can't even motherfucking do that because the next space you got in is probably built up a whole bunch of mentalities and chakras, and where the mind go, the body go, that protect you from actually taking care of that. So now you're afraid of that. You let that old circumstance bully you, and you scared to take care of your responsibility or some shit like that, and you letting it get out of hand. And don't let it be a filtering system of a bill. Don't let it be a filtering system of a goal or creative attribute you have, because for the most part, why are you running away from yourself? Thank you so much for the donation, Day. You said how to transform catastrophic moment into testimony even when things in 3D look otherwise. Now here's the thing, you got to suffer, but it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. So how you suffer, now you got to develop a mentality that now first I'm going to tell you how you develop another mentality, but I'm telling you the surface level and the basics of it first. You have to develop a mentality that whatever that third dimensional circumstance is, the mentality you develop is still got something that it went in your favor. Whatever the mentality you built around that third dimensional circumstance has something to do with that situation still being in your favor, no matter how wrong it is. Now, this was actually going on. As a spirit, you have to actually force yourself to jump out of the mind state that you're in to perceive the situation in the third dimension at the moment that way, and force yourself to jump into another space so you can start seeing things in different angles. Start coming up with different ways of why that happened. You know what I'm saying? So you don't stay in that little fixated way. That's a start. That's a proof or an example of you jumping into a different space. Now, a lot of times it's hard because here's the thing. The current mentality that you're in, the percentage level of energy in it is one of the reasons you are manifesting that situation in the third dimension to look thrown out. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times that light be so heavy as a spirit, it's hard to get out of that because it's so much shit to pay attention to. Spirits love train wreck stories. Spirits love paying attention to shit. So a spirit to get trapped in that because it's like fulfilled a little bit, and spirit's always trying to get fulfilled. So it got so much feelings and thoughts that you can pay attention to why this happened and think, or why is this going on and shit like that. Now here's the thing, that'll keep you in that same space to develop the same thoughts and feelings, frequency, vibration, to develop the same energy. So you got to force yourself to be in a different space and have like small portions of consonant dissonance, aka convincing yourself that whatever happened ain't because of this, it happened because of then whatever you make up. And whatever you make up, you got to be a strong spirit. Make up something that is just in your favor. Rather a person around you who looking at the situation that happened to you could give you all their ideas and feelings about, oh nah, you know you just flunked out, or you know you just nah. You be strong as a spirit. Come up in your own mind with why that happened. Now off the back, as a spirit, that's you being in another form outside of that form, looking at it from a different angle. Make sure it's a highly angle. You know what I'm saying? Not no low one, a more depressing one. Then that way, you got different ways, even if you want to go back into that situation to prove something, to attack it. Or you might create it a way that's so separate from it that it could just fade away because that light ain't big enough to make your next light a problem. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for the donation, Nicola Sex. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real shit. So that previous one won't be so much of a motherfucking problem. Now here's the thing. You got to stay there. Because there's going to be other events that convince you need to go back down in there and feel and think the way that was going on in the third dimension. Stay there as long as possible. And as a spirit, try to create different thoughts. When that one start to go down and get sucked back into that black hole, those groups of lights that came together that created those situations in the first place, jump out of that one and create another thought and feeling that's higher or more outer than that one. Right? And then therefore, this is you practicing strength. This is you practicing that spiritual battle to go uphill. So you don't always practice a roller coaster. You're just going uphill. And eventually, God going to be able to put you in a situation that you ain't going to be able to experience. Like eventually, where the mind go, the body go. Because as a spirit, you're going to be developing mind states that end up being so far away from that situation, you're going to be seeing it from a distance and actually manifest a circumstance where it be from a distance. AKA, something you just look back on like a memory in your life that you can laugh at now and shit like that. So that's how it start to play out physically. Now, when things start to play out physically, you're not going to be able to stop at every instant, every second, every moment, every other day to be like, oh, this is happening because it's trying to block me from thinking about that. Now, when you start to manifest, you ain't even gonna have no time to be thinking about shit. You're gonna have to have a time to yourself to ponder, to be like, oh damn, I ain't even dealing with that same kind of shit no more. You know what I'm saying? That because anytime you leave from one place, you start to fill in another place. So whatever you're filling in that other place with, the other things can't be paid attention to at the moment. So anytime you jump into a new space, but you constantly paying attention to the other space, you're technically not in that other space. You created an illusion, but you technically in this space, but you created and the mind could play tricks on you. You created a vision that you was in another space, but you still currently in that same space. And then you're gonna manifest situations in your life to make you realize that too. Once you start reaching certain forks in the road. Let me stop talking about that because I'm hitting the road. You know what I'm saying? Stop making metaphors of freeways and forks in the road. But other than that, yeah, sometimes you be in situations like that. You know what I'm saying? You might just envision yourself being in another space, but you ain't. You know what I'm saying? So you'll super be lying to yourself. And it's a thin line between lying to yourself and knowing what you're doing with your mind. See, when you lie to yourself, you just create a vision, but you really ain't in that space. When you know what you're doing with your mind, you actually know that you're not in that space, and you know that you getting ready to endure some shit, and whatever you're getting ready to endure, you wouldn't reach that space without enduring that. See, when you lie to yourself, once you start to endure to that space you want to reach, which if you would have known what you was doing, because it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. So we be all doing the same thing, but you can either know what you're doing and start to have those train of thoughts, or you can lie to yourself and then start to meet those outcomes and shit like that. But both of those is reaching destinations. You see what I'm saying? Now here's the thing: when you lie to yourself, soon as you start, you don't really want to meet no resistance. So in the meantime, you're going to envision that you in a space. You're going to think that you are something that you're not. And then when you start getting hit with resistance and shit like that, you run away real fast. You get insecure real fast. You go somewhere and hide real fast. You go somewhere and feel like you're incapable real fast and things like that. And that's when you know that you're not ready for the war, the objects that you need for your spaceship to reach that destination. So you actually thought you were somewhere, but you wasn't. You actually, as a spirit, was really in the same location and created a mentality in that space you wanted to be in, but lied to yourself, made that mentality so strong, you actually believed you was there. And you actually convinced your space that you're currently in that you had some of those lights that you put in a different space at to envision yourself at. So now you end up like manifesting the wrong people, places, and things in your life that you can't uphold. People thought you was one way, but you another way behind closed doors and things of that nature. Then you start meeting resistance and shit like that. Where if you would have knew what you was doing, you would have knew that these resistance is actually making you better, and you would have met these things head on. You see what I'm saying? And you would actually practice rituals and spells around these things, because now you're doing it God's way. You're sacrificing yourself. You're not sacrificing others for your will. You sacrifice yourself and others that's on the same path as you, who's willing to have the same goals. You know what I'm saying? Only time you sacrificing others is when you're trying to convince others. And anytime you have to convince others, they're not even on your same path and goal. You know what I'm saying? So you're actually using their object or their gift and talent for the sake of your monetary gain. Some second and eighth house type energy type witchcraft. So you got to be careful of that too. And it's motherfucker shit. But yeah, but it's all kind of ways. Oh shit! But it's all kind of ways of how you see yourself and how you're supposed to go about it. So you know, it's always a fake it till you make it. But if you know what you're doing, you'll get there peacefully in God's way. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to start getting met with resistance and start shaking hands with the devil, aka just really you sitting somewhere thinking you could do some rituals and spells of how to not meet resistance, or how to not experience rejection, or how to not experience insecurities or something like that. And there's no such thing as that. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. So that's what built strength through the eyes of others when they look at you. Not how much you can hide. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times y'all might hide yourselves, hide your creative attributes, and allow the normality of the world to filter you down underneath this system. And now this is another reason why the world is fucked up. Just like the motherfucker going back to the Ukraine shit and things of that nature. Right now they shooting missiles. It ain't no motherfucker reason to be shooting missiles, endangering people in their neighborhood and shit, causing oak fires. There's no fucking reason to be doing that. Now they're gonna make up a story. They're gonna make up a story about it having something to do with trying to protect the food, and they want to rule over the food. And make you think that this is going to be the reason why there's a food scarcity. Yet, how the fuck is this even our business? How do they know all this to even be telling the whole world now? It's a worldwide news, and it's all of our motherfucking business. So why the UN ain't nobody stopping them from doing that motherfucking shit? They'll let you know it ain't got nothing to do with that. It just got something to do with putting us back into survival energies, fear energies. You know what I'm saying? And as long as we're in these energies, they can control our attention. Because here's the thing. All the way from you being a spirit, it's you is the only one responsible for being aware of what you are aware of. Because you made yourself aware. That's how you gave birth to yourself. Beyond the Thoth books, the book of dead books, and the Christian books, all that shit, right? The Nagamati texts, all that ass shit, Kemet, whatever. You brought yourself here to be aware. So here's the thing. They found the little trick. You know what I'm saying? Based upon exoteric, esoteric, internal, external, and illuminated or being enlightened. So enlightened, esoteric is internal. Illuminated, exoteric is external. And that turns into common knowledge. They learn how to take the internal and create some external and have it up for sale in some motherfucker in some way. Ooh, shit, I had a motherfucking point. But so for the most part, yeah, that's my point. So here's the thing. Ooh, thank goodness for weed. Thank God. So they figured out a trick through those rituals and spells and shit like that. Here's the trick that they figured out. You could be responsible for another spirit to be aware. You could be responsible for another spirit to be aware. And the trick is creating a form, a light, wherever you at as a spirit that got the energy in it of fear. Now, all you got to do is be a wise spirit, an occultist spirit. All you got to do is understand the mentality. And if you know that you share similar forms with other spirits, because we in the same frequency vibration as a spiritual race, then you can kind of know what they want to hold on to on their mind and their body. So all you have to do is sit back and create a fear of losing something that you know another spirit don't want to lose. And therefore, whatever you create as that image, that light, the energy behind it could just be you wanting that spirit to pay attention to you and whatever you got going on. But in order for a spirit to pay attention to that, you can only force, and aka it really ain't forcing. It's a witchcraft. If you create a fear, you will make another spirit pay attention to what you're doing. Now the shadow government figured out how to make y'all pay attention to what they doing by creating fear tactics. Because here's the thing. If you're not in no kind of fear in your life, you're only going to be paying attention to what you're into. For an example, right? If no one telling you your lights get ready to get cut off, you're not going to be in fear that you need to get a job. If nothing going on, like a crazy shit in the neighborhood going on, then you're going to be minding your own business. You see what I'm saying? If someone ain't pressuring you about something and shit like that, then you're not going to, you see what I'm saying? Like, if ain't nothing really going on, you really ain't going to be aware of nothing but what you want to be aware of and what you trying to pay attention to. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is a psyche that the Luciferians and the shadow government threw in the world to make y'all, and this is how they created a lot of demons and a Solomon Temple shit, aka all spirits responsible for becoming aware of themselves. Here's the thing. We got billions of spirits in minds and bodies as bugs, parasites, and humans on the earth right now that became, a lot of them is y'all, but we all have abilities to change. But here's the thing. Anytime a spirit create their minds as a spirit world, their chakra star system, water cycle, that flood the old race, and then they come in, right? Now here's the thing. There's a group of light in the 4th and 6th dimension that spirit space could become an individual solo spirit, which is a soul. But when they become aware, it's getting help. It become aware and already a whole bunch of awareness that's already there from spirits that had died already or spirits that's still alive in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. I'm aware of itself, but since we are all responsible to become aware of our own, this was how these spirits became aware of their own. They became aware of their own amongst a whole bunch of awareness that's already there. These are the spirits that get born in the middle of the monad. You got a group of spirits that get born way on the outer skirts. That's archangels and stuff like that that come here way later. A lot of sheep down here, religious people, people in your family and stuff that you can't change their mind even if you tried. But sometimes they still can get the shadow government world real good and stuff like that, like money and maternal. That's just the way they think. They never gonna think another way. Their sarcasm, all this kind of shit is the same. They would never be able. You would waste your time trying to take. It would take them a long time, eons here, as a spirit to go through so many transitions to start to go to the outer parts in forms in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, a little bit more expanded. Won't be so limited. Won't be so single-minded, directed. Won't be so. Oh, no, it's only this religion. Oh, no, it's only this scientist. Oh, it's only this atheist. Oh, no, it's only this. You know what I'm saying? They'll be a little bit more evolved because as a spirit, they'll be a little bit more expanded. A lot of these spirits, it take a long time, and they're very young spirits here. You know what I'm saying? So it take a long time for them to evolve. So they be here for long times. If you was born on the outskirts, in a 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, your mind that you made out here, your awareness as a spirit that you made out here is more broad. So you might be perceived as weird. You might have in certain areas that you need, especially if it's the sun, moon, or ascendant, or the ascendant, first house, fourth house, IC, or the 7th house, descendant, or the 10th house, midheaven. You know what I'm saying? Fixed stars in those areas, or the sun, moon, or ascendant is very prominent to why you pick that time to come here this time. Because as a spirit, every time you go inside a form and get out of that information, mentally and physically, you could go into a bigger awareness. Now, as a spirit, you got greater attributes to create a bigger awareness, mind, and body to have a bigger pulse. So you being in so down here, if you got a bigger mind, you got a bigger womb. You're pregnant, your mind is bigger. So when you bring that down here and things of that nature, right? Sometimes you pick certain things to remind you that you got different attributes down here. And sometimes the situations we create be catastrophic ones to remind us our attributes and our gifts and talents. And shit like that. But that lets you know you was born on the outskirts and shit like that. And you're just coming back to pick up a little bit of the pieces that you left behind by not being fully righteous and going the left-hand path too extremely. You see what I'm saying? And so when you're going to the left, the things you was creating to the right, you have went to the left so much that now you going to the left and the things that you have left behind appear to be moving to the right, and you forgetting that you is part of that those creations. You know what I'm saying? You got to be the creator. You got to take what you're responsible for and do right, and make sure any other spirit that came after you or before you that's using that energy, show them how to do it right and things of that nature. And this is how you reap what you sow and actually replenish and actually claim what you have started and clean it up. And don't come back here again. And a lot of times it boils all the way down to a specific word with a lot of y'all, because we kind of like walking words in some way, shape, or form, but we're basically mental. We just create words off the mental. But at the same time, some of these words is catered to certain virtues and principles that if you understand that exact virtue is at the feminine side of it, the multitude of it, and the principle is just the masculine of it. Like what it actually is. When you find that, you find the first thing when you became aware. That's your first substance that you add on to all the waters as water particle. And then before you created your bubble and got lost into the accumulation of all these things getting helped by other people's and theirs awarenesses. As teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you so much for the donation. Kabaka 333. You say having a more broad perspective get tricky because it's like you have so much. Well, it don't get tricky though. But you say you have so much space to utilize, but since humans are whack, you can be... Well, yeah, that is true, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that is true, though. Because, yeah, humans is whack. And then since the internet right now got spirituality being a trend, you'll find a whole bunch of people that rock you to sleep. And then it take a few experiences for you to realize, like, damn, I bet this person ain't really that. This person really a demon. Real motherfucking shit. So sometimes you gotta sit back and be like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, because you start to be so aware and shit like that. It's like sometimes you just be aware of other people bullshit, and then sometimes you can't even take that. You know what I'm saying? And then it's hard to like explain that to other individuals. It's hard to, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to even participate at certain moments. That's why it's important to even create soul groups and shit like that, and make sure you're a part of things like that. Because at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Without that, you always gonna have this mental pressure, and God don't like mental pressures and shit like that. All possibilities don't like mental pressures. Don't like people being in positions where it's constant mental pressures and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you in too much mental pressures, that lets you know you have manifested too much circumstances that you need to fight out of. You have manifested way too many circumstances that you got to get yourself out of in some way, shape, or form. And then now you're on some type of spiritual warfare. And the spiritual warfare that you got to go through, a lot of these things is you. A lot of these things are you getting attacked. A lot of these things are involving other individuals that help you manifest that shit. But you got to learn how to decipher these things. You got to learn when you not getting attacked and there's some bullshit you just in. Then you got to learn when you is getting attacked and when you got to fight fire with fire. Then you got to learn, you know what I'm saying, when it's time to separate and leave shit alone and shit like that, and learn how to pick your battles. And therefore you're becoming a spiritual adult in this motherfucker shit. You know what I'm saying? But you always got to learn, because sometimes your feelings could get the best of you. Your thoughts could get the best of you. And you might think you got to prove something more than you have to. You might think you got to participate in a situation more than you necessarily have to. You might think you got to, you see what I'm saying? And you might think other people, the way the energy that they putting into it is calling for you to put more pressure into it than you necessarily have to. And then that's when you start to use your mind for shit it ain't made for and shit like that, because you're supposed to be the spiritual superior one in this motherfucker shit. You supposed to be the one that understand what the fuck is going on out here in this motherfucker shit, and how to manipulate other people and don't let they fucking thoughts or feelings affect you in this motherfucker shit, because that's what the motherfucker boil down to. And a lot of these people who affect you, you got to know that they ain't shit. That you letting some people who got thoughts and feelings affect you, that their thoughts and feelings in their life don't accumulate the shit in that nature. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you do that, you allow these people to have superiority over you in this motherfucker shit. Then once you allow this demon to have superiority over you, that'll make you no better. You know what I'm saying? And you could go somewhere and scream and holler that you a strong spirit all you want, but the proof will be in the motherfucking pudding. You allowing demons to put you in a sucking place. You know what I'm saying? And you supposed to put yourself in a position that you change a fucking demon's mind. And if that demon ain't willing to change their mind and get on your level, you gotta have a goal first. But if that motherfucker demon ain't willing to change their mind and get on your level, then for the most part, that motherfucker ain't really your friend anyway. That's a fucking hater in motherfucker disguise. And they don't want to see you get nowhere in life in this motherfucker shit, because they don't look like that. They don't feel like they can get nowhere in life. So what the fuck? They want you, somebody that they know getting somewhere, to have the ability to talk about them when they ain't around. That's a person's worst nightmare, especially a person that's lost in the world. That's their worst nightmare. That's one of the reasons why shit like that happen, where you might have a friend or you might have somebody in your motherfucking life in some way, shape, or form, right? And you might be like, damn, I thought this person would be happy for me and shit like that. You don't know what people be thinking about. But this is one of the things that people be thinking about. People be thinking about shit like this. You is in the same situation as them, and they know how much they talk about people. So for the most part, they always put them, they think everybody else is like that. So for you to be in a better position than them, it leaves room, like wiggle toe room, for them to feel like when you somewhere, you can talk down on them. And sometimes it just be simple as that. And a person will prevent you from feeling like you doing something good, just so you don't have that idea. So in their mind, right, they might fuck with what you doing, but they don't give you that satisfaction as far as reactionary wise, due to the fact of they don't want you feeling like you can go somewhere and talk all like that, as if other people who know y'all can compare y'all and put them in a better position than this individual. See what I'm saying? So that's how these people be thinking. And you might be thinking like, damn, I thought we was cool. I thought you fuck with me or some shit like that. No, it ain't really that they don't fuck with you, but they don't fuck with that perception. And they will stop that perception from happening until they can put themselves into a situation where whatever you get ready to do, the situation they put themselves in, it don't matter no more. So it won't bother them. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people will do that. They'll hold you back, and just until they get into a position where the thing that they was secretly in competition with you with now no longer matters. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful. It's a demon. Shout out to Chris Ballatay. Yeah, it's a demon. That's a demon. And so it's tricky out here and stuff like that if you're not spiritually inclined. Cause you like a lot of times y'all parents be demons. Y'all drunk ass aunties be demons and stuff like that. Like they don't know no better. And you have to be your grandpa. You have to be the example sometimes. And if you're not strong enough to be the example based upon how you feel, you're gonna be looked at and stuff like that. Then that's really like your problem. That ain't got nothing to do with God. That ain't got nothing to do with the devil. That ain't got nothing to do with getting on the internet all day trying to find some ritual or spell or what's wrong with you and find some type of word. Oh, it just means you're an empath. So now you could use the word you being an empath because some other flunked out ass person who share your same weak ass spiritual traits of being just weak or bullied or not understanding life and things of that nature, right? Can make an example. You could be like, oh, that's what I am. I'm an empath. And now you could use that word to not make yourself better, to not change your fucking life. You know what I'm saying? To use that as an excuse to why you're not going for your goals or why you constantly going through bullshit. And the reason why you constantly going through bullshit is just simply because of what the fuck is on your mind. And you allowing other people to give you handicaps, aka mental medicines. You know what I'm saying? Where you got medicine and how they practice in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension with the pharmaceutical 2 dragon sword, Sagittarius or Fucus Scorpio type shit. Right? Where it fucking compromise your immune system, and then they give you all these mental medicines like religion, business, politics, psychology, these terms and things of that nature, all these Masonic Jesuit terms like light worker, channeling, motherfucking what's all the fake psychics. They're not psychics though, they psychopaths, 2 peanut butter jelly sandwiches away from it, chosen ones and stuff like that. And these are mental medicines, so you could just say you are these things without actually being these things of that nature. You could just say you are these things as an excuse to why you're not being a true spiritual person and shit like that. You'll have somebody saying they're a light worker real fast and don't shed no light in nobody's life. You know what I'm saying? They live in fucking darkness. They like in misery and shit like that. You hear somebody say they're a channeler, never explain who they channeling. Yeah, you better be that motherfucker nowadays anyway. You know what I'm saying? They never explain who they channeling. They just say they're a channeler. So they don't even understand the words that they're using. They're just heard it off the internet, heard it in a book. Read it in a book. You know what I'm saying? And it's a Masonic Jesuit, another witchcraft where they're following the light in some way, shape, or form. So they don't do nothing but be channeling demonic ass spirits to tell people shit and put people on paths. Thank you so much for the donation. You said, Dolo, I like this girl at work, but she a Virgo and works 24/7. Shots flunked. Nah, you a Gemini. You might be them. That might work out because y'all birth both Mercuryans. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, yeah, my goddamn dad a goddamn Gemini. My mother a Virgo. And I know a lot of Gemini and Virgo relationships and friendships. She just the feminine side of Virgo. You the masculine. Of Mercury. You the masculine side of Mercury. Now, damn, what was my motherfucking point? And it's motherfucking shit. Damn, I had a motherfucking point though. That threw me off. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? All that is spiritual motherfucking shit in some motherfucking way, shape, or form. Oh nah, you good. I'm pretty sure nobody else was listening anyway. As soon as we oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, they got shout to Christian G. Thank you, Christian G and this motherfucking shit. So yeah, channeling and all this motherfucking shit and things of that nature. People always shout that shit, but don't know necessarily what the fuck they channeling and this motherfucking shit. Light working. They don't know what light they working. You know what I'm saying? And then when they start to explain it, they just be working the lights of love, peace, and light. And then the shadow government taught them that those was lights and stuff like that. So they working for Lucifer in all kind of ways and shapes and forms. I had another point after that, but other than that, yay. So that is let you know in this motherfucker world that everybody be in motherfucking demonic ass shit and shit like that and try to get you into some demonic ass shit and thinking that it's not. And some motherfucking shit. Well, I had a motherfucking point though, because it was about some at motherfucking work. No, that was Kabaka saying he had a chick out work or some shit like that. Yeah, this guy to speak, talking is God. You know what I'm saying? Talking is God. You know what I'm saying? Silence is the devil. It's going to put you into silence. It's going to put you into just talking to yourself, because you're going to try to find God somewhere. So you're going to talk to yourself, but then when you start talking to yourself, you might start talking to the devil, because you might start hearing voices and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So then when you realize that God ain't got no voice and you got to talk for God, then that's when you talk. Once you start to talk, that is God. You know what I'm saying? Now you could be used as a vessel. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. But every now and then, to deal with our demons, we do got to talk to ourselves. So we got to use our God to talk to our demons, our devils, and stuff like that. And as long as we understand it from that attribute, now we understand shit the right way. We understand rituals and spells. Because that was what the original title was until I seen all this flunked out shit going on in the world the past 10 minutes before I went live. But for the most part, my live stream was going to be about, you can't be a priest if you don't know how shit works. And you got a bunch of people in Christianity, Masons, Jesuits, people in Kemet, calling themselves priests and shit like that. But none, and Jewish people, Jewish philosophers, and a Jewish mysticism. That ain't nothing but, Jewish means another term for philosopher, and mysticism just another term for the unknown. And they was calling the mind unknown. So that's just a person who was philosophizing the mind back in the days. But for the most part, everybody in today's time, shamans, Indians, everybody don't even know what the fuck they even talking about and shit like that. They don't. None of them know how none of these things work. They all just regurgitating and leave you in spookism. No, none of these people know how these things work except me. You know what I'm saying? So that's another way I'd be like, damn, this is only two minds in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can a person even like break down Kemet? You don't even know how none of this shit work. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to work. You don't even know what space a person was in to come up with these objects and things of that nature. You just know how to regurgitate and teach about it and what you thought they was doing with it and shit like that. And that's where you know is very faulty. This world is fucked up, and there's no such thing as priest, high priest, shadow priest, except me. And I'm going to make some of y'all these things. But after that, you know what I'm saying? This word is flown. This word ain't shit. And people hear these terms negatively and shit like that. Like, we ain't supposed to be these things. Like, why would you even supposed to be these things? You're supposed to be a priest. You're supposed to be a person who know how to make up your own mind. You're supposed to understand your shadow priest, a.k.a. the where your desires lead when it leads into destruction. You're supposed to understand these fucking things so you can have true moderation and shit like that. Right? Don't get lost into the terms. These are just like different terms and shit like that, or shit that we already do and shit like that. And when you know what you're doing, you a bad motherfucker. When you don't know what you're doing, you flunked out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't shit. And your life falls short like that too. You know what I'm saying? When you don't know what you're doing, your life start to fall short in that attribute. You know what I'm saying? And then people start to look at you like you can't take care of yourself, even if you got money or not. A person start looking at you like you don't know what to do with it and shit like that. And then that's when you start to produce results in your life to show you where you at spiritually. And where you at spiritually is some flunked out ass space. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Also, this motherfucking shit, it's going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Even it's going crazy in Atlanta right now. The world is going crazy, period. The shadow government is clearing everything up, though. Like, so I'm starting to see everything I say is what they doing. They just don't like when I talk against them and shit like that and try to take my video down. Look, but I'm not about to get on their team like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if they're, like, trying to be on my side a little bit. I don't give a fuck. I see what's going on right now, though. Like, when I get my channel back, let's say I start doing right and I start pandering to a lot of systems and stuff like that, I'm going to start going up. I'm going to start going up in like the 5,000s to 10,000. Like, I already know the trickery of game and shit like that. I'm trying to think if I want to go that route. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think. Because they already like doing everything I say and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just in a real dark kind of way. So I'm just thinking right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't need them. But it look like they need me in some way, shape, or form. And it's an open door for me to get rocked to sleep. But it's also an open door for me to be in a position that y'all all kind of see that we supposed to be in too. So it's like a sacrifice gotta be made. And I know that sacrifice, I'm not casting pearls right now. But I'm just thinking right now. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna see if I want to get there my own way still. Rather it take long, or go ahead and just jump and skip loopity-loop real quick and allow the shadow government to low-key put me in a position, or low-key have certain things that when if I was to get gang stalked, I can. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? It'd be certain shit in position, certain obligations that it look convenient at the moment because like I'll be in a certain position, but at the same time, whenever they choose, those same things that's used can be used against me also in spiritual ways. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm thinking, you know, I be going to war with these Jews and they know it. You know what I'm saying? So I like my witchcraft got to be sufficient before I jump into any waves and pockets. And then here's the thing: they be willing to shake hands with me. They know how I come. Like they all be scared of me. They know how I come, so they willing to shake hands. You know what I'm saying? And willing to be like, oh, Uriel, we know what you about and shit like that. So it's like I'm just thinking right now. You know what I'm saying? And then when I get it together, I think about I have it together once I'm in Atlanta. I have it together once I'm in Atlanta. Other than that, it's a tricky world out here. I ain't gonna tell you no motherfucking lie, especially when you got a form of intelligence. And you better use that motherfucking shit. Thank you so much for the donation. Bronx be bugging. And the Bronx do be bugging. You better Tremont Ave. You know what I'm saying? God damn it. All the motherfucking blocks and sectors. You know what I'm saying? You said, while on spiritual journey, is it normal to be flunked out some days? But listen, we flunked out every day. What you mean, is it normal to be flunked out some days? At the end of the day, I ain't flunked. So I'm going to tell you that right now. The thoughts and the feelings going to have you flunked every day. So it ain't what we do, is how we do it. Every day is an uphill battle. Me talking the way I'm talking ain't saying like it's easy or some shit like that. No, life is like, it's a billions of spirits here, including the spirits that's in animals, bugs, parasites. So it's teamwork makes the dream work. We all aware of each other. So we all make it tough for each other. We all make it tough for each other. So we flunked out every day. You can't just change the world with your own. You got to change your own world first, and then your own surroundings will change. And hopefully you powerful enough as a spirit, and you accumulate enough powerful other spirits that it'll start to appear like the whole world is changing. Because the world ain't nothing but all of our minds together. As teamwork makes the dream work. Also, that'd be all of our awarenesses. And then when we make our bubble within that awarenesses, that's all of our minds. And then when we relate it, that's what the world is. So that's why we have to create worldviews and shit like that. Things to view existence through, because we created ourselves to be here and shit like that. And the better we can create a worldview, the better we can view the existence in a more relatable fashion that we can share. Other than that, we just going to be fighting, whether we fight mentally or physically. You know what I'm saying? War in the heavens and war on earth. And that's all we gotta been doing in this motherfucking shit. So we gotta be motherfucking careful. Like I said, still, like, shout out to Scorpio Queen. Yeah, we flunked. Yeah, we flunked every motherfucking day. Ain't one person you know that ain't flunked. Your mama flunked. Your grandmama flunked. Your grandpa flunked. You know what I'm saying? Your drunk ass auntie flunked. Your nieces flunked. Your nephews flunked. Homegirl, we got the little Jackson 5. She probably got Jackson 11. You know what I'm saying? A little Jackson 11 Vienna sausage can, little Jurassic 5 park group. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Yeah, all of them is flunked every day. And this motherfucking shit, homie who just got out of jail 20 years ago and shit like that. Yeah, he flunked. Everybody flunked. You know what I'm saying? Everybody flunked. Person who just got off of work, yeah, they flunked. Everybody flunked. Everybody flunked every day. The loneliest motherfucker in the world flunked. You know what I'm saying? You better believe it. They can act happy and smile all day. They just as flunked as you. Just as flunked as me. You know what I'm saying? As soon as a person start acting like they ain't flunked, you know they got some flunk depression behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? They probably crying. You know what I'm saying? The harder somebody act like they ain't flunked, the harder they be crying. The higher you try to jump, the harder you fall in all realms of realities. So these celebrities that be throwing their 20% online that you be competing with and shit like that, trust me, behind closed doors, they be crying like a motherfucker. It's a reason you see motherfucking fat titty having ass goddamn Lil Yachty painting his nails and shit like that, breathing all hard like he just ate a whole goddamn Krispy Kreme box of donuts in his motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Real motherfucking shit. It's a reason. It's a reason Lil Uzi got his hair like that. Now look, check this out. Now the 20% is what they threw online. You think they having a good time on stage, flashing money, in y'all face and stuff. Yeah, but look, the whole 80% is the depression, the things that they mind have to go through to even try things like that. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. Go get your nails painted and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your toenails painted, a man. You know, I was thinking something for the nation, Marios, Eros, real shit. And just say, hey, Uriel. Tell you the truth, I don't even like going to places like that with a goddamn female. Like, listen, I'll pay for the female and her friends to go, to get out my face to have some peace for a second. You know what I'm saying? I'd do that first before goddamn it going with a girl. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's some spiritual shit, and that's just included with it. You know what I'm saying? And then that part, if it's just included with it, best time to have a smoke break at that part. You know what I'm saying? You go there and get your feet down real quick. I'll go outside real quick. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Bro? Like, it's all kind of different states, different ways we can relate. Real shit. I ain't gonna tell you. Other than eating a big box of Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme donuts and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? A big large coffee drink and breathing all hard like Lil Yachty. You know what I'm saying? With estrogen problems and shit is titties. Get your ass up, guys. Go get your ass in the Planet Fitness somewhere before you get in somebody's studio. That's real shit. He said, whatever did you ever feel threatened by shadow government, or you just know they're going to hell? Yeah, they're going to hell. They be threatened by me. I don't feel threatened. I know when they're attacking, though. But me personally, I don't know how to feel threatened. You know what I'm saying? I just know how to attack. Like, the thing, because Archangel Uriel, I understand it. But when it comes to, like, courage, fear, what you just named, you know what I'm saying? Attacking, then all the things, all the names in the encyclopedia that tracks to thoughts and feelings and stuff like that. I get them. I'm not in them. Like, so I just use them when it's needed. So when I feel threatened, I start to threaten. When I feel attacked, I start to attack. I just give back what I get. I don't know how to be these things myself. Like, I just know how to fall. That's it. All the angels fail first. A lot of y'all was there. That's why y'all here now. But the ones who fell first was on this earth first too. Because the mind bent in on itself became bodies first too. So this was a place that me, Uriel, I was here for eons. Anytime you hear a description of hell, hell is this manifested. Earth. So when a person be like reading the Bible and the Bible be talking about hell, a person always separate earth. They be like, oh, angels came here and they was in the center of the earth. No, earth is a description. I'm Uriel, ruler of Tartarus, because I became flesh first. So here's the thing. Me as a spirit, I became the face of God first. So that's where Michael at now. But since I became a form first, a light first, I moved out the position I was in first. So I did a you first. So it's actually the image of God. So the image here ain't physical forms. Your first body is an image. So your first body could be a beach, a Garden of Eden, it could be whatever. But you as a spirit is inside your first body. You inside your first world, your mind. But y'all looking at bodies like this, that's not like that in my world. Well, I'm trying to help y'all understand it's all of our world. But in existence and period, that's what a body is. The first body you create is the mind. Now, the first body I created was the you. So all the virtues and principles that come from that is beyond even falling and things of that nature. So any type of music I make, any type of logic I make, I only know about that because I'm misplaced. So the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, that's what I need to come back and take care of as a responsibility. Everything that deal with that. Now, that was a far out from the left hemisphere. Everybody's house got a left corner. So I did that first. Michael came last. So that's why Michael is there. So that's why God need Michael for intellect. To know that logically, these are the things ahead of us to not do because these leads into desires. So Michael is my opposite because I'm seen as a desire, a fall. You know what I'm saying? But I teach about the fall. You know what I'm saying? Regulus, Raphael, is seen as in its position. As falling too, but falling to a high place, right? So every now and then, Michael got to check. This is why Michael is supposed to be the strongest, because it's the birth. It's the baby with the wings. You know what I'm saying? It's the birth. It's the intellect. It's the air. You know what I'm saying? So it can logically keep the other angels, which us is in check. Keep me in check. Because sometimes, even though everything I speak is for good causes, sometimes it could be for wrong purposes. So the wrong things fall. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So even me in my actual life, I have to pay attention on what I'm directing my energy towards. Because whatever I start directing my energy towards, it might fall. So I have to make sure as Uriel, I know back as a spirit, don't get too attached to the third dimensional world. So I can always direct my energy towards the right things that need to fall. Because as soon as I start directing it towards too much things in the 1, 2, and third dimensional world, like people, friendship, relationship, family, 9 times out of 10, a situation gonna be created where that falls. You know what I'm saying? And we no longer could be around in no way, shape, or form. So I had to learn that early and start directing my energy in real areas. So now when I do it towards intellect, anything I focus my attention on in the third dimension as far as intellect, it's gonna crash and fall. Now that's a good way to direct my Uriel energy, because they didn't blind y'all with all this intellect down here. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. So yeah, Babylon, I like letting that fall. Yeah, I've been doing that way before it was Babylon. It was called something else. I forgot that tribe and that king in the Bible that was describing it. Damn, I remember doing that though. I let that civilization fall. I let the intellect fall. So I'm about to be the only one here that kill everybody's MC equal squares 2 knowledge, all that fucking Einstein knowledge, all that fucking NASA knowledge, all that fucking Tesla knowledge, the phi ratio. Listen, anybody could create a mathematical ratio. I did that with the piano. Y'all could go on my live shit using geometry and numerology with the piano number and shit like that. And all you gotta do is come up with a system and come up with an allegory what makes that system true. Don't mean that system is true. For an example, when you hear people talk about the Fibonacci sequence, everything is a 1.5.5 system. All right, here's the thing. Who said the system itself is 1.51? Somebody made up 1.51 to call it everything is the Fibonacci sequence because it's 1.51. Let's talk about 1.51. Why is it named that and called that? You get what I'm saying? This is what I'm bringing down, this motherfucker. That to let y'all know everything is fake. It's false. Y'all lost into illusions that's not there, to the point that you would try to find something that's not there. Ain't no snowflakes the same, but you would think you would find a percentage level because they created 1.1 something. So they created the system behind it for you to find that in everything. Not to say that's even in everything. Ain't no 2 snowflakes the same. So in existence, that's wrong. But we'll get into motherfucking scientists to sound like we smart. You see what I'm saying? And religious people do this all the motherfucking time and shit like that. It's bullshit. You about to have a bunch of religious people about to take this little NASA fake ass shit up here. You know what I'm saying? And the fake Hubble James Webb, he's a Mason. His whole family Masons. And about to create, oh, this is why Allah created something, or their God created something, some goddamn shit. And some Masons created that Jesuit with their technologies that they got enough money to do their pseudo shit with. And that's it. It don't even go no further than that. It don't go no motherfucker further than that. All that shit. That's why you hear Pan-Africans talking about the woman is God and shit like that. I don't care if they saying black woman, Japanese woman, or whatever like that. All they talking about is their interpretation of having a Greek scholar. You know what I'm saying? Because they follow the light. You know what I'm saying? They only know how to follow the light. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be able to find when someone's practicing something because of the language and the linguistics. The linguistics is the practice. The language is just making sense out of what's being practiced. So if you can't make sense out of what's being practiced, you don't know what's work. You don't know how it works. So for the most part, you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? For an example, you can have a Pan-African all day. The woman is God. Black woman is God. Indian, China woman is God. And things of that nature, right? So basically, their whole description is going to be some goddamn shit about how a female can have a woman. I mean, a female can have a child by herself, but that ain't nowhere in existence. But they gotta argue that goddamn shit, right? And yeah, it sounds good, it sounds smart, but you got a Greek scholar, you just don't know it. You think you stealing from Kemet, but that's what the fuck that rulerships back then. The same people practicing the shit now that created the Immaculate Conception shit, the Virgin Mary shit, a fucking woman who can have a child by themselves. You know what I'm saying? And really, and none of the none of the Egyptian books, Kemet books, or the religious books even talking about that. The feelings and the woman is an allegory to the emotions, and we create the world with the emotions. So what you got cared for is what you manifest in your life. You can have all the thoughts in your mind, all the men in your mind you won't. If it ain't got no women supporting it, if it ain't got no feelings supporting it, you're not gonna have the ability to get up and do it, or that thought gonna go in one chakra and out the other chakra, because it's not gonna have nothing holding in on it for that fire idea to turn into water, rain down inside your body, and then now you can have air and earth inside of you in between as a worldview to see something that you want to actually manifest into this world and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it's talking about. So the first allegories to woman was the mind or the feelings, because they was thinking that all of that is correlated to the mind. So they got lost too. Anytime we try to find something that we can't see but becomes an object because we could give it a point of reference, we like to say it's the unknown, it's the spirit, it's the observer. You know what I'm saying? And don't let nobody out here either try to get you lost, like they don't be stealing my motherfucking knowledge, because I'll be hearing these conscious people and shit like that stealing my motherfucking knowledge and act like they don't and shit like that. Even in motherfucking jail and shit like that, I don't want to hear nobody talking about the observer or this motherfucker shit without saying Uriel. You know what I'm saying? Real motherfucker shit. I hear shit. I be hearing certain shit like that, and I kind of don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it made me feel like, well, damn, I didn't rule the whole nation behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like live whole motherfucking nations on the internet of cults and all this motherfucking shit, right? Where motherfuckers throwing around who got this knowledge and who got that knowledge, and all of it sound like my shit. It all sound like my shit is used for shit. It's like my shit is being used for practices. My shit is being used for a person to have courage now. My shit is being used for a person to realize now. I like some shout out though, even though I don't care about praise. I know how I come though. So I know my energy I put down here, because the starting points only be mine. You can't come up with an idea or thought unless it's from my starting point. So anybody y'all start hearing things about motherfucking observer, the starting point of that is you not being the mind. So, because the mind is a light, and you know you're not that. So that's what you are observing. So anybody or any cult or any type of nation out here that y'all hear somebody start saying observer or some shit like that, if in the very next breath, or if you heard any other knowledge from them saying that you are the mind, you know they stole that knowledge but don't got the right starting point. And that's how you know they got it from Uriel, but trying to make it sound like they got it from they goddamn selves. And I don't like that shit. God don't like that shit either. God don't like ugly, but I know how I'm coming as Uriel. I ain't supposed to come down here and holler for praise. This is one of the reasons I fell in the motherfucking first place and had motherfucking following ass spirits like Lucifer figure out how to stand high in between me and motherfucking Raphael and stay some true north energy diagonal shit and be shining all the time PM and make a purple sky. Oh, you got some purple desires. Oh, you royalty. You can sit on your high horse whenever you feel like it. Oh, and I get jealous of that too at times, because I see a lot of individuals down here who follow that spirit and play those same pieces of that energy out for their own selves. So they use their likes, their attention, what they think they're doing, and what they're getting so much grace for, and they use it to cast stones on other individuals on why they this, why they that, and come up with allegories on why other people in certain places and shit like that. But they gotta keep that shit going, because if you don't keep it going, you gonna fall, bitch. You better believe that shit. You gonna fall. You go motherfucking fall. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, you use everything. Narratives, missions, fake missions in the world. You know what I'm saying? To destroy people and all kind of shit to maintain. And the shadow government be using that Lucifer energy, because motherfuckers could get things going for long periods of time. You be thinking like, damn, motherfucker pop it for a long time. Other spirits be wanting to do that shit too. But here's the thing. Lucifer, that spirit that was in that form called Lucifer, right, attracted so many other spirits that didn't really give a rat's ass about it. Only give a fuck about how can they do it for themselves. So eventually, all those group of motherfucking spiritual angels that became motherfucking demons around that mother was just spirits. All spirits had the ability to change. Anytime a spirit get lost into a desire, it become a demon. Anytime that spirit become angelic again, it separate from that old demon and become into a higher space again. And now it has to learn how to go back and take care of that responsibility and clean it up, so no other spirits use that form as a sake of security, stability, shelter, or support, or safety. You see what I'm saying? Because you have to get rid of these things and look at these things like it ain't nothing. Now here's the thing, right? All the collection of motherfucking spirits that followed the Lucifer spirit and shit mentally and shit like that with their mental spaceships, they really were just trying to find ways of how to get that energy. And there was so many other spirits fighting for that throne and got that and killed that motherfucker eventually and shit. The higher that motherfucker went, the harder it fell. Always had some motherfucker to stab it in the back or something like that. Always had some motherfucker, because really the motherfuckers around it just really wanted to know how to obtain that ability. Really didn't give a fuck about it, but was lying to it and fake praising it and shit like that to give it that praise just so it can rock it to sleep long enough. Shit like that. That's what it ended up manifesting and shit like that. As far as that Luciferian energy, shadow government just keep reproducing it, finding the light to figure out ways of how to not how that happened. So they keep creating magic squares and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's how Lucifer fell. That's how that spirit Lucifer motherfucker fell and met Gabrielle and came down here and walked on earth as Jesus, and all these people that follow religion, that whole big soul group and shit like that, all of them playing out those characteristics, Luciferians. So even if you ain't religious, but you follow the light, they practice that magic square to keep you in that shit. So they can keep following the light, Lucifer, and light work and shit like that, and channel that energy, right? And be the chosen ones of that, being chosen by that light and shit like that. There is no other way to look at it, but you think you're looking at it for it could be something good in your life, because you don't know no other way to look. But Uriel is here. You don't know no other way to look at life, though. See, that's what's wrong with you. That's what's wrong with you. You fake ass Mason. You fake ass Jesuit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm fighting them. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta keep that in motherfucking mind. It is motherfucking shit. And they following that motherfucker. And Lucifer always gotta come meet me, and I'll be laughing. You know what I'm saying? I became flesh down here. You know what I'm saying? Way after Lucifer came flesh down here in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. So I rule down here now. My intellect rule down here now. He can't do shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm ruler of Tartarus. You know what I'm saying? This is Lucifer's world. We just cleaning up everything. Now Lucifer came down into the flesh first because he created that weak ass light and fell first, died up there, then manifested down here first, and motherfucker ruled down here and all his bloodline shit. Angels got to come down here and clean that shit up because Lucifer need us. You're like, damn, can you come save us? The Lucifer be calling on angels he needs saved just as much as y'all be following him. For real, it's that deep. It's that deep. It get deep in the spirit world. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. So when you be even reading the Bible and shit like that, it's really a context of as above, so below. So when you be hearing the demon, the tail flung and took half of the angels to start, it's just basically explaining the Draco constellation. So the tail end, we stay in the tail end of the Draco constellation. And we are the transverse. So we are the inner blood cells of that water snake that we live in. So that'd be the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional creature we live in. In the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional creature we live in, right? This creature is beyond our little chakra and organ we stay at in the tail, right? So that's why when we see the North Pole, they want to quote unquote claim as Polaris, and it used to be Talmud or Tal, whatever the fuck, piggybacking the Hebrew names in the Hebrew Bible and shit like that. But we are in the tail end. So as a collection, when we look at the Galactic Center or Sagittarius B, as far as the NASA and them explaining and shit like that, from our perspective, we're just seeing the center or the sexual organ of the water snake we in, because we're in one chakra, and our one chakra compared to the whole being we live in is our chakra wheel from Aries through Pisces. You know what I'm saying? So Aries through Pisces is not even the head of the Draco constellation being certain heart parts and things of that nature would be like Hercules, the head and Lyra and shit like that. The head and shit like that would be like Orion. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the head of the Draco constellation, the whole constellation of Orion, and the tail ends around Capricorn to us. So Aquarius and Pisces are new body parts. So the shin and the feet is new body parts. The last part of the snake is new body parts for them. The tail is new body parts for certain animals. The wings is new body parts for certain animals. The ligaments is new certain body parts for parasites. But this is all of us being a collection, and all of us make up this water. You get it? And there's certain other beings and other chakras, other bodies of water, and other chakras, like I said, Hercules, Lyra, serpents, and shit like that. And there's a group of not all the 88 constellations, and it's beyond that too. But there's like a good 60, like however many books of the Bible is basically all the constellations, right? That's complete Draco, right? So how many books of the Bible is the constellation? So it ain't 88. It's like what, 67, 70, something like that. And I think around the tarot card too, 72 tarot cards or some shit like that. So yeah, 72. So 72 of the constellations, not all 88 of them, about 72 of them is what Draco expands through. But Draco is the constellation all of us inside of, and all of us, including the 72 constellations that Draco goes through, is basically all of us. Now, so on a micro scale, on our clock, we just see Draco for the best way we could perceive it from our little chakra being on the tail end. And that'd be from Aries through fucking the beginning of Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? And then when we look in the sky, that'd be Sagittarius B and the galactic center right there, right after Sagittarius and before you hit Capricorn. So for the most part, that's letting us know where we're at within this whole water snake. And this water snake is what we're calling Draco, and we are the transverse. Your transverse is your immune system, your innerverse. You know what I'm saying? All your blood cells and everything working. The spirits that's in other forms that you only in the main one. You ain't even taking your other chakras. You only take the space you are in. That's the house, the female you went into, and you as a spirit, and then you created awareness there, right? Then you created a sun, your solar plexus, wherever house you put that in, and then the reflection of it, wherever you put your moon at. Right? Those are the only ones you take. You only take those two lights, that first light and a reflection of it, and the spirit of it, the ascendant, but it's really just your space. Now, all the other ones, other spirits came. Is in those ones that was following you and shit like that. We all got our own spiritual, but they have to be lesser. If you are a spirit in a mind of a human mind and a body at the moment, there's no such thing as you following another spirit. And if another spirit go into a constellation, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional body, you go inside of them. You can only make your own body. You know what I'm saying? If you expand into the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. The shadow government have taught y'all to put your mind in another of them so you could be born in, but you only reincarnate on the bottom part of the monad, which is the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. So the shadow government still robots and confused on what's going on, so they only know how to mummify and create their bloodline down here and psyching themselves up like it's something different in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, or trying to make it the same. Thank you so much for the donation, everyone's universe. You said for the mission you are on. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, real shit. And it's motherfucking shit. So yay. So for the most part, when you come dude, I had a motherfucking point. But as a motherfucking spirit, that's how we all we jump into motherfucking light forms and shit like that. And you could get lost. That was my point. You could get lost into a mind of a collection of them and then follow what they're trying to create. Now, you could be in another vehicle in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, but manifesting into the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension as same as all the fucking creatures like we all manifest. But then you'll be part of a pack, be part of a group mentally in some way, shape, or form. And we're all trying to figure out how to be born out in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. Now, here's the thing. There is a lot of people that's being born out, but they're being born out lonely the same way you get born out here. And the spirits that's just following them, that's less than, is the ones that's being inside of them and shit like that. So that's how life and transitions be happening and shit like that. But so it's always the spirit after you, not a spirit in the same form as you. They have the same awareness as you. They have the same intelligence as you. And it's motherfucking shit. So keep that in motherfucking mind. So you can get lost into a being in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension and shit like that, right? But for the most part, here's the thing. That's when you will come back down here in a 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. It's like a reincarnation while that being is still living out. Now, when you actually get born out in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, that's when you completed the 4th and 5th dimension. The same way you completed the 1 and 2 dimension to get born out in the 3rd dimension. So 4th, 5th, and 6th is just a bigger version of the 1, 2, and 3rd. And 1, 4th, and 7th is masculine. 2, 5, and 8 is feminine. 3, 6, 9 is androgynous. You see what I'm saying? So when you wanted to create your own mind, your own bubble in your awareness, when you create it from being a zero, right, as a spirit, when you get into the 4th dimension, you do that on a greater level. You're just more aware. You spend more time. That mind, as an individual, take longer to expire. So you have more awareness of being in your ghost body, your cloud body, your 4th dimension. So you even experience that now. You have time to experience you floating around your thought. See, when you did that, when you was just a 1 dimension, a small spirit trying to find spirits that was in this arena before you, like your relatives and parents that's older than you and shit like that, before you went into their light. You ain't have a lot of time to do that, but you was still doing that. Is this your level of awareness was so small, the memory banks that you built to have the intelligence as a spirit, the capability is much smaller. So you're not going to be able to remember all these things. Just like you can't remember being born and being dying, but you know you did it because you still got the ability. You just got greater access to the ability. You're doing a one dimension on a fourth dimensional level now, so you got more ability to add ideas to the position you in. See, when you did it from the one dimension, you just add that first idea that's separate, that first Uriel that's separate from the space you in, to let you know that you can expand your space and go and understand duality and see and create yourself. Now you're going into duality, and it's motherfucking shit. Now on the fourth dimension, you do that on a higher level. You know what I'm saying? You can see yourself, your mind. You can create all kind of broader visions, big golems now, and shit like that. Now, since you're in a human body, that means you completed the fourth dimension. So you no longer have to follow an oversoul and just go with their dots and thoughts and just be in survival mode like animals and parasites. You already completed having your own individual thought. So you was already a bunch of animals and bugs and parasites and probably got killed by humans and spirits that was in human minds before you. So you know how they act before you died. So when you in your mind as a spirit, you had better abilities and you had dreams that wasn't necessarily part of your species anymore. So you left that awareness alone too and went into a bigger space, created a bigger awareness, bigger mind that matched the mind that killed you or was training you, or facilitating you or feeding you at the moment, or what you was aware of at the moment, whether they was running in the woods and just living as men and cavemen and women. And then for the most part, now you are one. Now you could jump in and be born into one of them, going into one of their light and shit. Now in the fourth dimension, now that you completed your one dimension, you completed your own individual thought fourth dimensionally to be in the third dimension. Now to be a human now. In that mind, you are in the fifth spiritual race. So now the fifth dimension is understanding your feelings, learning how to have your own individual feeling, so the external world don't persuade you with all different type of feelings that other spirits that didn't died and created, and other spirits that's here that's with you creating, and y'all blind and shit like that, trying to figure out how to relate. When you create your own feeling, whether motherfuckers like it or not, but it make you how your spirit's supposed to be. That's your own vibe. Now you complete the second version. Fourth, fifth dimension, masculine, feminine energy together, masculine, and now you can logically think about this feeling that's yours without it letting persuade you to think differently, because you got a thought now because you're in a human mind. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to think for yourself. So now you're supposed to feel comfortable with that thought for yourself. The more you can do that and create situations and outcomes like that, boom, now you're planting seeds here that's strong enough that when you die here, this body leave, your mind, your Jesus leave this body as a spirit. You no longer need that one because you're not a part of this world anymore. And then that can lead off for as a memory banks for other people to remember you, praise it, and learn from your mistakes or learn from your benefits. And you can go and be born in the fifth, fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension now. And it's this a bigger version of the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. Now all the parasites and spirits that's following you there will make up all you. And then you be the spirit that take the sun, reflection, the atom, the reflection, and your space, and whatever you choose for your first house there. How you first to aware of everything, how you perceive everything for the first time. That'll be your first house. And however the system of whatever shadow government, galactic fed, space Jews created there, that'll be what you have to fight through, of how they built the world for you to find yourself again, and to know how to not go through a routine and pattern there again, because they didn't got the game sold up there too, the galactic feds. Galactic feds of light. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. Based upon your mind being controlled down here, a lot of y'all getting born in their mind state. You might not share the race. Still, a lot of y'all get born in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. You might not be in there because you still got to create your own body, but then you got their mind state. You getting ready to get their jobs again, and it's crazy there. I'm gonna let y'all know right there. Thank God for the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, and you can experience a slow process of shit happening at very fast, metaphysical, hyper, Street Fighter version type ways. You know what I'm saying? When you get into the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. You think worship down here is a thing. Up there, woo! You think you need God in your life to help you with your desires down here. Up there, woo! You gonna wish it wasn't no thing to bother you about that type of shit. Woo! I'm telling you. Y'all don't know what y'all be creating on y'all minds down here. A lot of y'all be needing to reincarnate until you manifest a situation down here that you so tired of this life, you say fuck everything. And then now you get back on the right path in some way, shape, or form. Thank you so much for the donation, Song Plug. You said, does resistance, opposed feelings always come with manifesting? No, I don't know what you see. You trying to make some type of ritual and spell behind manifesting, or some easy way out. You know, you either gonna manifest or you gonna manifest. It ain't got nothing to do with you opposing a feeling. You got your feelings is what manifests. So you don't need to be opposing no feelings. What you need to be is directing your feelings. When you got anger, you direct that where it needs to be, where it needs to go. If you're in a situation where you got fire, where you have to fight fire with fire, that anger needs to go there. If you don't take that window, you will manifest a worse situation later on down the line. If motherfucker anger needs to be directed into an area of your gifts and talents, because if you can see it being directed in another area and it make matters worse, then you direct it towards your creative matters and things of that nature. And then that's how you. But you can't fight the awareness and feelings of this world of a collection that we all built, that we in. You can't. There's no like. It ain't what you do, is how you do it. You see what I'm saying? It ain't what you do, is how you do it. So when you got certain energies, your thing you need to worry about is where you direct it. When you feel loved, or you feel like you need to express love and give it, you need to know where you're directing that. A lot of times y'all get in that love phase and direct it towards all the wrong people, places, and things. So it turn into desires or monetary gain, or it turn into Mars. Something that you love could be the very thing that destroy you. You know what I'm saying? When you feel courage, or not, let me find some other words in the encyclopedia. When you find excitement, sometimes you direct that energy in the wrong area, and then you might get excited about the wrong things, and then that lead into a destruction and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? When you feel treacherous and shit like that, sometimes you might direct that in the wrong area. If you learn how to direct treachery in the right area, then you doing it in God's favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, for an example, you might got pissed off at your job, but you direct that treachery energy towards your family and your friends and shit like that, and then you expect them to know that you had a hard day. Where really, the motherfucker who need to get cursed out is the motherfucker who put you in that motherfucking space. So you need to be reevaluating. Do you need to cuss a motherfucker out and prepare yourself to get another job, or find better ways to be slick in some way, shape, or form? And therefore, you could not cuss a motherfucker out and be slick. You know what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form, where you leave something that you were supposed to do, or duty, and leave it to them to do it in some way, shape, or form, but did it in a slick way where you don't, like, where you play the game in some type of way. Therefore, your treachery energy is being placed in the right perspective. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to teach y'all witchcraft sometimes, because a lot of y'all be on some other shit. Thank you so much for the donation. Scorpio Queen, you said, how can you tell when you need to fight fire with fire? Because when some keep bothering you, and you know that if you was to get rid of that situation, you'll be in a better position. That's how you know when you need to fight fire with fire. You know what I'm saying? When you know you need to step back is when you know that you're looking at a situation that you don't like to be in, but you know if you add any more energy to it, it's only going to make things worse. That's how you know. For an example, let's use high school, let's use school bullying or some way, shape, or form, right? Now, how you know you need to fight fire with fire, and how you know you need to separate from the situation. Now, you might be trying to learn in the classroom and shit like that, right? So at that time, you will look at the situation and be like, if I was to get up and whoop off in this motherfucker's ass right now, or whoop off in her ass right now, if you're a female, right? I'm going to get suspended in some way, shape, or form. So that would be, now I'm just making this as an example. So that would be an example of taking the angelic route, knowing when to separate. Because you can look at the situation and be like, if I add any more to it, aka get up and whoop off in this person's ass, is going to make matters worse, aka I might get suspended. Now, to know fight fire with fire, when you outside of school and shit like that, it ain't nothing but space and opportunity in this motherfucking shit. Don't let a motherfucker forget now. Let a motherfucker get their cootie points, then when it's all space and opportunity, they just expect everybody to be scared and nobody to remember that type of shit because it was all good in the classroom and shit like that. That's when you know it's time to fight fire with fire in this motherfucker. Because you know in that situation, you won't get in trouble, but then you know that you will show this motherfucker that they'll stop spitting spitballs on your head too when you in school, so you don't have to worry about getting whooping off in their ass at the wrong time and shit like that. So you can look at that situation like, oh, in the future, this will be a better outcome if I fight fire with fire in this situation, because I won't get suspended and this person will stop bothering me, for I won't have to have possibilities of getting suspended when we in classroom, compared to me being in the classroom and then looking at the outcome, still whooping off in this person's ass, but suffering the consequences of getting suspended when I'm just here to get good grades in some way, shape, or form. So that, I know it's a dumb example, but that's the best way I can explain it when you're in those situations of knowing when it's time to fight fire with fire and when it's time to be angelic. And every time you do this, it go in your favor. So that's when you got, but look, everything take experience. You always gonna have a little bit of fear. Fear is good when you know how to use it. When you direct it in the right area, you know what you have fear for. That's when you can jump over the highest fence and lift the heaviest car there is and shit like that. AKA get through anything that's in front of you, and that shit won't bump you again. Whether it even come in the form of a fucking person. But when you fighting virtues and principles out this bitch, it come in the form as demons too. You fight them away too in this motherfucking mental forms. You see what I'm saying? So but when you train yourself, right, the more and more you don't have no fear at all when you go through these situations. But here's the thing. It ain't what we do, it's how we do it, because we all doing the same thing. So anytime you're in a situation, sit back and analyze it at the moment. And be like, and start to look at the outcome. Like, but always have in your mind, you can't run from it though. Always, I don't care what kind of situation it is. Your bill ain't paid, whatever. You gotta meet jail time, whatever. This is save your life. Sit back and analyze. Okay, now I gotta do this anyway. But the time we in right now, would the outcome be better? Or if I participate, would I only make things worse? Would I only make matters worse? And the faster you can get that together, the faster you can get the ball rolling. The faster you go ahead and turn yourself in, the faster time will seem like it go in jail. The faster you get up and whoop off in that person's ass, the faster you got to deal with them no more. See, now here's the thing. The only time we go through these motherfucking issues and problems and shit like that is when we mix these things up. Because it be time we supposed to fight fire with fire, and we separate. That allow a situation to get worse. Then it be times that we separate. Yeah, I said it right. Yeah, there's times we supposed to be fighting fire with fire, and we separate, and that make things get worse. And then there's times we fight fire with fire when we supposed to separate. You see what I'm saying? And that make matters worse. So both of those make matters worse. There's time we fight fire with fire when we supposed to separate, and there's time we separate when we supposed to fight fire with fire. And that fuck things up. We doing things demonic way, shaking hands with the devil, trying to find an easy way out, trying to hide an insecurity, try to build a safe haven, try to not do something. That's all. You shaking hands with the devil at that point. And you always gonna have to do it. You just manifesting a bigger monster to fight with at that point. A bigger collection of things, objects, people, places, and things that come in even worse matters until you actually have to deal with it. And if you don't ever deal with it, these situations that keep you into a mental form, and where the mind go, the body go. This mental form that you in go represent the space that you in. And the space that you in as a spirit is like so separate that you might get killed or die in some way, shape, or form due to the fact of you not manifesting yourself out of certain constructions. So it led you right into manifesting a physical circumstance like that. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to get out of something, not being able to survive, being stuck into the 9/11 circumstance where you wasn't spiritual and I wasn't here at this time. But if my channel was here, we would have been able to make this allegory. You will be, even if you was manifesting situations to a certain degree that you're still around in the environment, you still will be a witness and not a victim. You still will be outside of that 9/11 building and not inside the Twin Towers. You see what I'm saying? And you would have been there to live to tell about it, but damn, you went through a harsh experience. Thank you so much for the donation, Scorpio Queen. Real shit. But yeah, real shit. I forgot what I was talking about. I'm about goddamn spiritual conscious conscious stream of thoughts right now, god damn it. But when I go in, I go all in the spiritual world. Real shit. Thank you so much for the donation, Cynical Dre. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real shit. Real, yeah, about to drop the Flight Star Walker Part 3. Nothing was the same. Then we working on the Soul Group mixtape and shit like that. Shit, we're gonna finish that up in Atlanta because I'm breaking the studio, and I'm pretty sure a lot of studios in Atlanta and shit like that also. And I need to start getting serious about these things because I see what the shadow government is doing. So I do want to get in and get out real quick, so I can be in a situation that I can't help in a real way. I need to put myself in a situation that I can really help in a real way, not just with the mind right now and spiritually, but really physically too. You know what I'm saying? So that's all what I'm like brainstorming about right now. How I'm gonna go about it, and how I'm gonna go about having them sign my terms and agreements, because I don't be signing no terms and agreements, but they got a little punk ass contract. I just got more things on my contract, and you know what I'm saying, I gotta look over because I'm my own lawyer, so I gotta look over this contract real sufficiently, you know what I'm saying, before I sign anything, and they gotta sign mine first. You know what I'm saying? But they've been signing mine, all this copying I've been seeing. I've been like, damn, all these people they taken to jail and shit like that. I'm like, damn, they signing all my like, damn, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute, I ain't trying to, but like, all right, but I'm about to get with the program. I'm about to go back to the city hall downtown in Babylon for these next few days and shit like that to see what's going on, because I ain't trying to catch no charges in Atlanta either and shit like that either. So you know what I'm saying? Like they know me that I come terrifying shit in the esoteric world. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, you know, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back downtown. I'm gonna go back to the city hall. I'm gonna see what they talking about again, because I got the contract. They got mine first though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna see what's going down. You know what I'm saying? If I don't like it though, you know, if I don't like it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna see what's going down. But they pretty much like been bending kneel. They've been bending kneel and shit like that, because I just been destroying every goddamn thing. I just be coming in destroying every goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? They're like, damn, we can't. So, like, because the shit I say be nipping things in the butt before y'all even know what's going on mentally. So they be like, damn, if that's aware, we can't even suffer. We don't want to have him reap the benefits of waking people up in a way that we not even really prepared for, that people are waking up in. See, that's why they can't. That's why they've been on the internet so much, like doing the witch trials again, censoring people and shit like that and things, because they didn't think people was gonna be connecting and communicating the way we are. They just thought they was gonna be able to do the same thing they was doing with television, newspapers, the news channel and shit like that, right? And radio, Rush Limbaugh and shit. They just thought they was gonna be able to do the same thing with that. They ain't think that people was gonna start connecting and start using their own mind on the internet. They just thought that people was gonna use the internet the same way we use newspaper and shit, to still be docile, still listening about the COVID and shit, and still listening. They just thought, you know what I'm saying? But they thought wrong. And the reason why they can't really use their resources that they already have to make us pay attention to shit, because the energy is not, that they built it on, is not in the sky no more. You know what I'm saying? We got Pluto transitioning through Capricorn, get ready to get into Aquarius. We got Uranus and Taurus. So the energies that they built so much of the other shit was, like, they built a whole lot of shit on the energies before Saturn went to Libra in 2012 and got out of it. They built so much shit that they're still trying to use right now. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't work. And one of the highest sophisticated things they was doing to create their balance and their Ma'at energy, with Saturn being exalted in Ma'at, which is Libra, was how they was controlling our relationships within the context of marriage, how they was controlling our households within the context of the legal system and law and police and judges and judgmental energy. It was their formations of balance within this time. Things became haywire ever since Uranus went into Taurus and Pluto went into its square sign, which is Capricorn. Anytime we experience a 90-degree angle from the rituals that they make their starting plans on, a lot of times this is where we see the debilitation of their shit, and they try to hide it so they can have us rock to sleep and blind it long enough and put a whole bunch of convenient shit in front of us for us to do things that they want us to do anyway, to give them time to get control again. So every time that we get successful real quick, we get rich real fast, we end up still supporting their shit. You know what I'm saying? But we're able to do this so fast nowadays because it's a free fall. We can even use their punk ass resources because they don't even know how to technically use it right now. So it's like the gold mines looking at the cobalt mines, and the cobalt mines looking at the gold mines, like, what's next? Well, really, it's just all up to us at this moment. What's next? You know what I'm saying? Tom ain't sit somewhere and said, sit somewhere and wait on somebody to already create Facebook, to create MySpace. Tom made MySpace. Then the shadow government and the feds made Facebook. You get it? Now everybody else just really copying the shit for real. You know what I'm saying? All the way to Clubhouse and all the way to like everything for real. YouTube low-key copying. You know what I'm saying? YouTube low-key copying TikTok with these fucking shorts. I don't want no fucking short. You can't even get paid off shorts. You can't monetize short. I might got a good spiritual message I want to upload on YouTube. It might be under a minute. It turned into a short. I don't want no fuck to cut that shit. Make up something else, bitch. You ain't TikTok. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna do some shit like Instagram, stop. Because that's low-key what they try to do with the post. The post is supposed to be like IG. But get more invested in that. Stop doing that short shit. Like, take over what Snapchat was doing and do some IG shit. And then YouTube, you good to go. You'll blow Facebook and everybody out the water, which you already is, but YouTube, you be good to go. Like, it would be really no reason to get on YouTube. I mean, Facebook at that point. It won't be no. It would barely be a reason to get on IG. But IG is like Facebook part 2 without so much feds. So you know what I'm saying? IG is like Snapchat, TikTok, and everything. So IG kind of winning. IG is like neck and neck in its own world. So it's like competing with YouTube in its own world, low key. You know what I'm saying? That's why they had enough money to buy Facebook. Or did Facebook buy IG? I think Facebook bought IG because Facebook had the bag first. Facebook had the bag first. So every time you get on IG, you see some flunked out ass metaverse shit at the bottom of the screen. Metaverse. Oh, flunked out ass. They getting us all prepared right now. Just like I was breaking down on IG, they getting us all prepared right now, like I was breaking down on IG earlier. They getting us all of us mentally subconsciously trained for the mask, all the way to this big virtual reality face mask, all the way to the things floating in the air, to them convincing you that it's aliens, to us going to the space world. Space war with all these other galaxies that's fake, for another depopulation control, for people to kill themselves for fighting this war, aka a rapture that they convince you to think that you need to believe in, for they can sit back that they ain't fighting and they get to sit back and be like, oh, this what our new weapons do. Oh, this where we at on the Kardashev scale now, and in life. Or this where humanity at right now. You know what I'm saying? That's all they just need lab rats. And anytime the district managers of the corporation that they call countries have to come in and reevaluate and shorten the employee list by depopulation control on a global scale. That's what it's called. But it's just like a district manager coming to shorten people's hours and cut people who don't have a lot of days due to the fact of the economy being slow at the moment, and they still need their business to run. So this is how corporations run as far as countries. When there's too many people not reproducing products, working in their businesses and taking the money, right, and doing their own thing and creating their own businesses, now it's time for a depopulation control, right, where they create circumstances for us to kill each other. And when we get too wise, they come kill us and create some type of war or some type of explosion and some shit like that. Like they had to do that. They ain't have to blow up no neighborhood. They ain't have to let go no motherfucking missiles to make somebody bow down. Who was you trying to prove something to? You killed a whole bunch of civilians. Ain't none of us in control of no food marketing, no farms, unless you're a person that's up in wealth and you could buy some farming and shit like that. Other than that, if you ain't deep into that shit and slaughterhouses and shit like that and masonry, you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So who is they proving something to by shooting missiles, blowing up civilians, blowing up people like us? Who is they proving something to? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you got to think about it. It's all of them. They can't possibly be saying, oh, we about to blow up Turkey because we proving something to the Turkey government. When in the UN, you have a Turkey government and you have a motherfucking Ukraine government. In the UN agreeing to this shit. So who is they proving something to when they go blow up civilians? If they discuss what they was going to do behind closed doors. So it's all a depopulation control witchcraft. All they need you to do is believe in your country and go fight for it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And all they got to do is create something around it to make you want to do it. Security, stability, safety, shelter, and support. So yeah, you need insurance. You need money. You need your people to look at you like you somebody. So, you know, we fall short to these things. But you're supposed to use these things for your goals. You know what I'm saying? And rob them blind. But here's the thing. Shadow government know how to kill us before we can do that. They know how to put us in situations where our character get assassinated before we can do that. So we can't obtain no more of their resources. So now we can't spark a source, an idea of anything for ourselves without someone around us turning into an agent and shooting it down and making us docile again and making us just go along with the program again and swallow the goddamn Kool-Aid. You know, no pun intended. But like I said, that shit is fucked up. Shout out to Kennard. So that's how we got to change the world a little, but and slowly but surely we've been changing the world. You know what I'm saying? Now the whole world look like us right now. Now all we got to do is take that, transmute the motherfucking energy, and show everybody how to motherfucker be. Which we doing that right now too. We showing these Masons how to be, how these Jesuits, the shadow government how to be, just by even copying us and shit like that. I can't believe I seen that motherfucker video today of Donald Trump versus homegirl. I forgot her name, right? And then he said some remarks or some shit like that, saying he gonna win, and then she gonna sit up there and say, yeah, this is why older men, and she created a whole narrative around shit we be talking about based upon putting everything in a box of the manosphere versus the GMO women and the Jezebel versus the Gigolo energy. You know, when the men casting stones at all the females right now and all the females casting stones at males right now. The motherfucking shot, this bitch up there talking like that. Yeah, this is why women is much stronger than elder middle-aged men nowadays. And then she came up with a whole narrative that goes beyond age. She just sounded like she was one of these females regurgitating off the internet right now, casting stone at all men. And both males and females and better males and Jezebels and all that, they all flunked out. They both flunked out. And the shadow government gonna take our talking points. That's the word I'm looking for. Talking points. They gonna take my motherfucking talking points and use it. They always taking the talking points though. Always taking the damn talking points. So I see what they trying to do. They just don't like when I be trying to wake y'all up on exacts on shit that's exact. Just like when I put that video out with Joe Biden and shit like that. I use too many names that's under their trademark. So that was their ability to gain stock me and ability to take something down in some way, shape, or form. So they ain't shit. They don't like me talking about shit in that way. They want me to pander. But fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at this contract. As long as it ain't got no pandering on there, and I could be me, and they can create these little spotlights for me or these situations for me that's for me and whatever that they try to use me for. As long as there ain't no bullshit, then that's the only way I'm signing. Other than that, I'm gonna destroy all they shit anyway. They already know how the fuck I go in this motherfucking shit. Ain't no civilization when I'm here. When I'm here, a horn is blown. You know what I'm saying? When I'm here, a horn is blown. Once my voice speaks, a horn is blown. And everything coming out of my voice is destroying all doctrines, all religions, all concepts. It ain't no nothing. I don't know how to act like nothing else. That's Yuri. I only know about the fall. I don't know how to do nothing. I bet not move again. You know what I'm saying? That's my problem in the first place. I bet not move in no other position. I better stay right where the fuck I'm at. I don't care about manifesting nothing or whatever the fuck or none of that goddamn shit. I better stay where the fuck I'm at. I ain't going nowhere else. I'm tired of being lost. I know who I am. I know where I'm at too in the esoteric world. And I ain't going nowhere else. I didn't fail before. And I was where y'all just coming now for eons. You know what I'm saying? It's just a figment of your imagination at this point. But it became this flesh in this world and shit like that. I helped built this world. And I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like this world. I'm in it right now, but I'm not of it. You better motherfucker believe. And you need to be the same motherfucking way. Real shit. You need to be the same motherfucking way. Real shit. I'm tired of getting summoned. On some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's all the shadow government know how to do. That's all they summon a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all, some of these words in the encyclopedia. I'm tired of getting summoned. Quit summoning me. Saying real shit. Cause they be summoning me for bullshit. Now they mad I'm in the flesh now. You know what I'm saying? And now they on some motherfucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to strike my channel and shit like that. Cause I done created a whole new way of how to learn and intellect. Whereas really I'm just taking you to your natural way of learning. You know what I'm saying? I ain't teaching you nothing. I'm only reminding you what you already know. They don't like that. Because once you get reminded what you already know, they shit don't work no more. Now they can't even use energies once they get fixated in the sky to keep creating different shapes and forms and lights and illusions and images and stamp the same energy behind it. Now they gotta always be one up and act like us now. Create new energies. They gotta act like me now. They got to. You know what I'm saying? And they don't like that. They like, damn, we don't even know how to do that. We only know how to take what's already in the world and just remix it. We only know how to think about energy can't be created nor destroyed, just remixed and transmuted. We don't know nothing else. So at this point, yeah, it's over for them. It's over for them. I'm the first person that's gonna come down here. I don't need no curriculum. I don't need no peer review views or none of that shit. All the shadow government and all the NASA gonna watch my channel and copy. They already do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already about to get that Nobel Peace Prize and all that shit. And I ain't got to go through the natural process. I ain't got to go through the scientists and have them proof review it. They don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, but they learn it because they know I'm talking about the truth. So they learning every day, retracting their words and shit like that. Neil deGrasse, he retracted. Well, he ain't nothing but a puppet anyway. But the shadow government gonna make him a puppet to retract a lot of words because I'm here now. You know what I'm saying? So these motherfuckers gotta chill out on that goddamn shit for blinding God's people. AKA the people of all possibilities. We are all possible of making this world better than what the fuck it is at the motherfucking moment. They just want the world to be the way it is in their way, in this time, in their time, and fashion and shit like that. But it's later for that motherfucker shit. You know what I'm saying? Real motherfucker shit. All we gotta do, but we're allowing them to practice motherfucker the Utopia witchcraft over us, where all we doing is killing ourselves so the strongest can survive, and now we in some fucking utopia in some way after that. We're the only people who are obliged to their programs is going to be the people who got rocked to sleep with all this convenience energy and allow all the other people who was trying to change kill themselves and shit like that. Then the people who are in this new world is the people who's supposed to be there, the people who going to want to be sheep though. This is how they trying to look at sheep now. Whoever going to cater to the most convenience, and the convenience going to lead you all to paying for an air bill, having a face mask, and having jobs on the internet, period. Well, you ain't got to never leave the house. You might not ever get dressed anymore or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. You know, a lot of y'all, they might put y'all in so much convenient energies, you might feel like life is at its best moment at that time. Due to the fact of technology and shit. So you got to be careful. And I'm going to tell you right now, ain't no such thing as fucking through the internet. Like, you can't fuck through the goddamn phone. I'm saying all this looking and not touching goddamn shit ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. That's for all the flunked out ass people in life and shit like that, practicing semen intention and all this motherfucking shit and things of that nature. Can't fuck through the phone. Ain't no manifestations and shit like that. I don't know what Soulja Boy was talking about. Kiss me through the goddamn phone and shit like that. He was goddamn used for the shadow government to get us all in this goddamn computer tablet shit now and this motherfucking shit. They got people going on dinners and shit like that, ordering food online and eating it through phones, through face chat and shit like that. Hold the fuck up. I can't stick my dick through no face chat computer screen. Alright, so goddamn it, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work for no virtual reality. I'm not quite sure if I'm down with this virtual reality shit yet. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. You shouldn't have came down here in the flesh if that was the case. You know what I said? I got here from a certain practice. I still like those practices. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about no test tube babies and we can be married through the online and you can order a baby fetus, nut sperm, something through Amazon or some shit like that. And then I send my sperm through you through Amazon or some shit like that. And then that's how we have a baby. Oh, no, wait a minute. Nah, this is going too far now. I don't know about all this goddamn shit. I'm not quite with this yet. The practices that was used, how I got here, I still like those practices. You know what I said? I don't know about those other practices they trying to get us on right now and make everybody physically androgynous. God wasn't talking about y'all being physically androgynous. God wasn't talking about that. You can't use God or your hate for God and try to make up some new type of shit for your flunkness in the world. Nah, it ain't got nothing to do with that. We was talking about, we was in our mind first. You always gonna fuck with the mind. We always sharing our mind, and that's always gonna become organs that we do that in. Now, we create organs and and do dumb shit with the mind after the fact, and the fuck up, make matters worse for the organs in the body. And God wasn't talking about androgynous like that. I said God was talking about androgynous with your spirit. You got a man, a thought, and you got a woman, a feeling. Yeah. To be gay is to be happy. I said to have a thought, enjoying your feeling. Have a woman enjoying your man, a feeling enjoy. And now you got a mind. You made a decision. You're not indecisive. Your woman, your feeling is, your emotion is not arguing with your thought. Your man, your Adam. You see what I'm saying? You're Eve, not arguing with your Adam. You're not indecisive. So that's what it technically means. You know what I'm saying? Y'all start practicing these things physically, right? And y'all got too happy. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it wasn't really talking about that kind of happy. You know what I'm saying? Now the physical happiness, you know what I'm saying? You're gaining all that other shit. Y'all did went elsewhere. And I don't judge nobody's preferences. I'm just trying to help y'all understand through metaphor right now. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetical. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to show y'all where God just talk about mind states first. God is talking about the mind first. You know what I'm saying? I gotta think about the mind. It's about the mind first. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all start practicing too much stuff with the body. Like, y'all the devils. You know what I'm saying? Y'all like little demons down here and stuff like that. Y'all can't wait to take the mind and practice the ritual and witchcraft of it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all take the ritual and practice the witchcraft with the body and down here. Like God wouldn't talk about that. Like God was talking about get your minds together. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? God wouldn't talk about the other type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta really think. You gotta think. I think. I'm gonna be think. I think. You know what I'm saying? I think. You gotta think. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Sometimes y'all just think. Y'all don't think. Y'all get a thought and that's it. That's all you think about. You don't think. There's a lot of different other springs that have to go around it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different things that got a ring on your head. Sometimes y'all don't see it. Y'all get one thought and be like, oh yeah, I like that one. Fuck everything else. And then it's just you shook your head with the devil. You know what I'm saying? The God wouldn't talk about that. So for the most part, that's what you have to understand. You gotta bring your thought and your feeling together. You know what I'm saying? God ain't said bring two thoughts together. The two men and the feelings, the two emotions. We all got these things. You see what I'm saying? I don't judge nobody. Just sometimes y'all do practice the physical versions of these things too. But we talk about the mind. Get into the mind. Okay, look, check this out. God was talking about the esoteric version first. You know what I'm saying? God said, look, the man, Adam, the Eve, not Adam and Steve. So God, he said Cain and Abel. You know what I'm saying? So when you got two men, you got two thoughts, that's indecisiveness, that's confusion, third dimensionally speaking. You see what I'm saying? Or you got two feelings, two women in the third dimension and stuff like that. That's indecisiveness. You don't know what feeling to choose. You know what I'm saying? So you got one chick eating the other chick pussy and stuff like that. Things so she damn, what we gonna do? Before you know it, they just stood in the crib all week. None of them got out and manifested nothing. So that's where the man gotta come in. So the man don't really care if two feelings get confused and stuff like that. The man's supposed to come in and have one feeling and be like, look, you sit right here or you do this when you need it. And you do this when this needed. You know what I'm saying? Anytime y'all choose to come together and feel I like feelings too. You know what I'm saying? I like to enjoy feelings too, but we gotta have discipline. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got the man come. That's when the man come. You know what I'm saying? The two thoughts, the one thought, then the two feelings. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it be other feelings and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes one feeling be unsupportive. You know, the man thought sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You got this idea. Then you got one feeling, one woman. I don't know if we could do it. It'd be a feeling that can probably manifest another man. You know what I'm saying? Another man might be for that feeling. You know what I'm saying? A weaker man. That she can support that man. That feeling can support that idea. You know what I'm saying? But this is a strong one. We don't need no weak ass feelings. That ain't gonna be no gas for the spaceship. So every now and then she might need help if this man's strong enough. If you got that first idea that's strong enough, she might need assistance to support. She might need courage to support in different ways because there might be things she can't do that the other one can't do and things of that nature. So therefore, boom, both of those emotions every now and then, boom, they can help each other. And when that idea ain't motherfucker strong enough, that can be a supporting cast in some way. Then every now and then this might need other men to build other ideas. You need other ideas to build and shit like that. And therefore, this when you bring a whole generation together, have a whole bunch of kids, whole bunch of generations and shit, aka a whole bunch of your expressions that just seem like you a bad motherfucker down here. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Like you a bad motherfucker down here. Damn, we 2 hours in. But yeah, I love y'all from the motherfucking bottom of my heart and this motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and finish these goddamn readings in this motherfucking shit. God damn it. But yeah, it's still early in this motherfucking shit on the Sunday shit. I might do some pre-record motherfucking videos and shit like that for the alignments we going through on the goddamn it on IG. And motherfucker Facebook, because this is what we gotta do right now. I gotta go hard. I can't be saying, oh, this is the time, and I don't never sleep anyway. Motherfucker, I'm about to throw this mixtape together in this motherfucking shit. Answer emails, messages, and this motherfucking shit, and give everything together so I can get these travels and make sure everything goes smoothly. And I love all y'all from the motherfucking bottom of my heart. Real shit. Don't go no further that. Don't go no further that. Don't go no further that. That's it.